Good evening, y'all. Now listen, I need y'all to pay attention because what I'm about to tell you is going to change the way you walk, talk, and carry yourself. We talk about success, we talk about happiness, but what you really need, what separates the winners from the watchers, is unbreakable confidence. I ain't talking about that fake, Instagram-like, I look good and less filter confidence. No. I'm talking about real, deep in your bones, can't nobody shake you confidence. The kind that makes you walk in a room and own it before you even say a word. So let's get into it. 1, stop waiting for permission. Let me tell y'all something. Too many people are sitting around waiting for somebody to tell them, you're good enough, you're ready. Forget that. If you're waiting on somebody to crown you, you're going to be waiting your whole life. Crown yourself. You got a gift, you got a talent, and God don't make mistakes. If you woke up this morning, you already got everything you need to start. You don't need approval, you need action. 2 by ERACI, live it, be real, joy. Live it, be real, live it. Be real by. They fall over and over and over. But what they don't do, they don't quit. That baby doesn't sit there and say, well, I guess walking ain't for me. No, they get up, wobble, fall again, but they keep trying until one day they take off running. Life works the same way. You're going to mess up. You're going to make some bad decisions. You're going to lose sometimes. But that ain't failure. That's learning. Every great success story is full of moments where people got knocked down, but they got back up. So the next time life punches you in the mouth, don't cry about it. Smile. Say, that's all you got? Then get back up and handle your business. 3, talk to yourself better than the world does now. This one is important. Some of y'all out here saying things to yourself that you wouldn't even say to your worst enemy. I'm not good enough. I'll never make it. I'm too old. Stop it. If you keep telling yourself you're not enough, guess what? You won't be. You got to speak life into yourself. Every morning, look in that mirror and say, I am built for this. I am strong. I am favored. I am winning today. Say it even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. Because how you talk to yourself determines how you show up in the world. 4, F-A, faith over fear. Every time. Let me tell y'all something about fear. It's a liar. Fear will keep you small. Fear will keep you broke. Fear will keep you working a job you hate when your destiny is calling you to more. But confidence is built on faith. It's believing that even if you don't see the whole staircase, you're still going to take that first step. It's knowing that even if you don't have all the answers, you got the ability to figure it out. So stop doubting yourself. Stop hesitating. Go after what's yours with everything you got. 5, the winners show up, even when they don't feel like it. Listen, confidence is not just about feeling good. You think every champion wakes up feeling like a champion? Nah. But you know what they do? They show up anyway. You tired? Show up anyway. You scared? Show up anyway. You don't know if it's going to work? Show up anyway. Because consistency beats talent every single time. If you keep showing up, one day the world is going to have no choice but to recognize your greatness. Closing, you were built for this. Let me leave y'all with this. Confidence ain't about being perfect. It ain't about having all the answers. It's about believing in yourself, even when nobody else does. It's about knowing that you have everything you need inside of you right now to become exactly who you're supposed to be. So, from this day forward, hold your head up, walk with purpose, speak with power, and never let anybody, including yourself, talk you out of the greatness that's inside of you. Now go out there and make it happen. Too many people are sitting around waiting for somebody to come along and tell them they're good enough. They're waiting for approval, for validation, for a sign that they're ready. And that right there is the biggest mistake you can make. Nobody is coming to give you permission. Nobody is going to walk up to you, hand you a crown, and say, you are now officially worthy of success. That's not how life works. If you're waiting for the world to recognize you, you're going to be waiting forever. You have to recognize yourself first. You have to decide right here and right now that you are enough. People waste years, sometimes their whole lives, sitting on their talent, sitting on their dreams, because they think they need somebody to validate them. They think they need a degree, a title, an award, or some kind of permission slip from the universe before they can step into who they are meant to be. But the truth is, the moment you were born, you were already enough. The moment you took your first breath, you were already equipped with everything you needed to win. Your gifts, your skills, your purpose, it's already inside of you. But the problem is most people don't believe that. They think if they don't have the right connections, the right background, the right credentials, then they can't move forward. But let me ask you something. Who told you that? Who told you that you had to wait? Who made you think that your dreams weren't valid until somebody else stamped their approval on them? The reason so many people stay stuck is because they're looking for external validation instead of internal conviction. They want somebody to tell them they're ready. But readiness doesn't come from the outside, it comes from the inside. Readiness is a decision. Confidence is a decision. You decide that you're worthy. You decide that you're capable. You decide that you're stepping into your destiny, whether people clap for you or not. You don't wait for the opportunity, you create the opportunity. You don't wait for the door to open, you build your own door. And if nobody wants to open that door for you, guess what? You kick it down. Because if you keep waiting, you will watch your entire life pass you by. Think about all the people who made history. Do you think they waited for permission? Do you think they sat around hoping somebody would give them the green light? No, they crowned themselves. They stepped into their greatness before the world even knew their name. Every legend you admire started with nothing but a belief. They didn't have approval. They didn't have guarantees. They had faith in themselves. And that was enough. That's all it takes. The difference between the people who make it and the people who don't is simple. The ones who make it decide that they're going to make it no matter what. They don't wait until they feel ready. Because let me tell you something. You're never going to feel fully ready. There will always be doubts. There will always be fear. But you move anyway. You take the step anyway. You start where you are with what you have and you figure the rest out along the way. Too many people are looking for signs. They want the perfect moment. They're waiting for everything to line up just right before they make a move. But let me tell you something. There is no perfect moment. There is no right time. The right time is the moment you decide to take action. The moment you say, I'm done waiting, I'm done doubting, I'm done playing small, I am stepping into my purpose today. That's when your life starts to change. That's when doors start to open. Not because the world suddenly decided you were worthy, but because you finally did. When you walk with confidence, people take notice. When you move like you belong, the world starts to make space for you. But you have to believe it first. You have to carry yourself like the winner you are, even before you see the results, even before the success comes. Because success doesn't create confidence. Confidence creates success. The people who win are the ones who act like they've already won before they even start. They don't wait for approval, they approve of themselves. They don't wait to be chosen, they choose themselves. They don't wait for an opportunity, they go out and make their own. How many people are sitting on million-dollar ideas, but they'll never act on them because they don't think they're good enough? How many people have the talent, the skill, the vision, but they will never step into their greatness because they're waiting for someone to tell them it's okay? That's the tragedy. Not that people aren't capable, but that they don't believe they are. They let doubt stop them before they even begin. They let fear talk them out of what was meant for them. And while they're sitting there waiting, somebody else with half their talent, half their ability, but twice the confidence is out there making moves, taking risks, and winning. Because confidence will take you further than talent ever will. If you don't believe in yourself, why should anybody else? If you don't value what you bring to the table, why should anyone else? The world mirrors back the energy you put out. If you walk in a room like you don't belong, people will treat you like you don't belong. But if you walk in like you own the place, like you were made for this, then people will start to believe it too. Because confidence is contagious. Success is magnetic. When you move like a winner, opportunities start to find you. But it starts with you deciding that you are already enough. Not when you get the job, not when you get the money, not when you get the title. Right now, as you are. You've got to start carrying yourself like the person you want to become. Speak like them, walk like them, think like them, make decisions like them. Because you are not waiting to become great, you already are. The only difference between you and the person you dream of being is the decision to act like it today. Stop waiting for somebody to give you permission to be who you were born to be. Stop waiting for validation from people who don't even believe in themselves. Stop waiting for the perfect moment that doesn't exist. The moment you decide that you are enough, everything changes. The moment you stop looking outside of yourself for confirmation, you step into your power. You don't need another opinion. You don't need another cosign. You don't need anybody to tell you that you're ready. You were ready the moment you believed you were. You were ready the moment you decided that you weren't going to let fear, doubt, or the opinions of other people hold you back. You were ready the moment you understood that greatness is not something you wait for. It's something you claim. The truth is, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to give you permission. If you want something, you have to go get it. If you have a dream, you have to protect it. If you believe you're meant for more, you have to start acting like it today. Because the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the belief that you deserve it. And the moment you truly believe that, the moment you crown yourself, the game changes forever. Failure is one of the most misunderstood things in the world. People are so afraid of failing that they don't even try. They let the fear of messing up stop them before they even get started. They look at successful people and think, man, they must have had it all figured out. But what they don't see is the struggle, the late nights, the heartbreak, the mistakes, the moments of doubt. What they don't see are the failures that built the foundation for that success. Every single person who has ever done something great has failed more times than they can count. The difference is they didn't let failure define them, they let failure teach them. They didn't run from it, they embraced it. Some people are sitting on the sidelines of life because they're afraid of looking stupid. They're afraid of what other people might say if they mess up. But the truth is, nobody who ever did something meaningful did it perfectly the first time. Nobody woke up an expert. Nobody got it right without getting it wrong first. Think about a baby learning to walk. They fall, they wobble, they hit the floor over and over again. But not once does that baby think, maybe walking just isn't for me. Not once does that baby say, I've tried this 4 times now. I guess it's just not meant to be. No, that baby keeps getting up, keeps trying, keeps pushing, and eventually they walk. Then they run, then they climb, because that's how learning works. But somewhere along the way, adults forget that. Somewhere along the way, people start thinking that if they don't get it right the first time, then they're not cut out for it. And that's where they go wrong. The truth is, the more you fail, the more you learn. The more you learn, the better you get. The better you get, the closer you are to success. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. It is the process. Every single mistake teaches you something. Every time you get it wrong, you learn how to get it right. But only if you keep going. Only if you don't let failure stop you. Because the only real failure is quitting. The only way you truly lose is if you give up. As long as you keep moving, you're still in the game. People have been taught to fear failure, but they should fear never trying. They should fear looking back at their lives with regret, knowing they let opportunities pass them by because they were too scared to take a risk. They should fear being the person who sat on the sidelines while someone else, someone with the same fears, the same doubts, the same insecurities, went out there and did what they were too afraid to do. Because the truth is, there is somebody out there right now with less talent than you, less experience than you, less knowledge than you, but they are winning because they had the courage to start. They had the courage to fail and keep going. They had the courage to put themselves out there, knowing they might get knocked down, but also knowing they were strong enough to get back up. Failure is not a sign that you're not good enough. Failure is a sign that you're in the game. It means you're trying. It means you're doing something. And every time you fail, you are getting better, stronger, smarter. Every time you fail, you are learning what doesn't work, and that means you're one step closer to figuring out what does. The most successful people in the world are the ones who have failed the most. They are the ones who have faced rejection, disappointment, setbacks, and still kept pushing forward. Because they understand that failure is not permanent. Failure is not the end. It is just a lesson, a stepping stone, a chapter in the story, not the whole book. People love to talk about success, but they don't talk enough about the struggle that comes before it. They don't talk about the entrepreneur who started 5 businesses before one finally worked. They don't talk about the musician who played in empty bars for years before they made it big. They don't talk about the actor who went on 100 auditions and got rejected 99 times before they landed a role. All they see is the success. They don't see the journey. They don't see the failures that made that success possible. But if you look at any great story, if you look at any person who has done something incredible, you will see a trail of failures behind them. Most people don't want to fail because they don't want to feel embarrassed. They don't want to look back. But embarrassment is temporary. Fear is temporary. Failure is temporary. But regret is permanent. Regret is what happens when you let fear win. Regret is what happens when you let failure stop you instead of push you forward. And that is something you do not want to live with. That is something you do not want to carry with you when you realize too late that you could have done so much more if you had just kept going. So many people quit too soon. They give up right before the breakthrough. They stop trying because they think they're failing too much, when really they're just paying their dues. They're just learning. They're just growing. But instead of pushing through, they walk away, never knowing how close they were to winning, never knowing how close they were to that moment where everything finally clicks, where all the hard work finally pays off, the moment that separates the successful from the ones who almost made it, the ones who could have made it if only they had kept going a little longer. You cannot let fear of failure hold you back. You cannot let mistakes make you doubt yourself, because mistakes do not define you. Failures do not define you. The only thing that defines you is what you do next. Do you get up or do you stay down? Do you learn from it or do you let it break you? Do you keep going or do you quit? Because if you keep going, there is no limit to how far you can go. If you keep going, there is no failure big enough to stop you. If you keep going, one day you will look back and realize that every single setback, every single disappointment, every single failure was just part of the story that led you to where you were meant to be. You have to understand that fear is a liar. Fear will tell you that you're not ready. It will tell you that you're not good enough, that you don't have what it takes, that you're not capable of accomplishing your goals. Fear will sit in the back of your mind, whispering doubts into your ear, telling you that you should play it safe, stay in your comfort zone, and avoid taking risks. But here's the thing. That voice is not your voice. It's not your truth. It's a lie. It's a trick. Fear's job is to keep you small. Fear's job is to keep you stuck in a place where you never grow, where you never reach your potential, where you never do the things that deep down you know you were meant to do. We all have that voice of fear, but it doesn't have to control us. Fear is not a sign that you shouldn't move forward. It's a sign that you're about to do something great. You should fear living a life of what ifs, of never trying, of never stepping outside your comfort zone. That's the real fear, the fear of regret, the fear of looking back and realizing you never took the chances you needed to take. That's the fear that should drive you forward. Faith and fear cannot occupy the same space. You can't have both at the same time. If you are walking with faith, believing that you have the ability to overcome, to succeed, and to rise above any obstacle in your path, then fear can't control you. Fear will always be present. It's not something you can completely eliminate, but you can choose to face it. You can choose to move forward in spite of it. Every time fear tries to stop you, you can choose faith over fear. You can choose to trust in your abilities, in your potential, and in the fact that you are meant for more than what you see right now. It's easy to let fear take over. It's easy to listen to all the reasons why something won't work. It's easy to think about all the worst case scenarios, the things that could go wrong. But what about the best case scenarios? What about the success that's waiting for you if you just take that leap of faith? What about the person you'll become by choosing faith over fear? The growth you'll experience by pushing past those doubts? You see, the worst thing that could happen is not that you fail, it's that you never even try. The worst thing that could happen is that you let fear paralyze you. Let it convince you that you're not capable, that you're not worthy. Faith doesn't mean you won't face challenges, that things will always be easy, or that you'll have all the answers right away. Faith means you believe in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. Faith means that even when the path is unclear, you still walk with confidence, knowing that every step you take is a step closer to your dreams. Faith means trusting the process, even when it doesn't make sense, even when everything seems uncertain. And when you walk with faith, you start to notice something magical happening. Doors open, opportunities come your way. People begin to take notice of you. Because when you act like you believe in yourself, others begin to believe in you too. But faith isn't just about taking action when everything is perfect. Faith is about showing up even when it feels hard. Faith is about moving forward even when you don't know how things will turn out. Fear tells you to wait until everything is in place, until all the stars align, until you're 100% ready. But the truth is, you'll never be 100% ready. You'll never feel fully prepared. There will always be a reason not to take that step. That's why you have to choose faith over fear and take that first step anyway. The first step is always the hardest, but it's also the most important. It's the one that sets everything else in motion. When you make the choice to have faith over fear, you stop letting fear dictate your decisions. You stop letting it hold you back. You stop waiting for the perfect moment to arrive. You start acting in spite of the fear, in spite of the uncertainty. You start making decisions from a place of faith, from a place of knowing that you have everything you need to succeed. It's about trusting that even if you don't have all the answers, you will find your way. Even if things don't go as planned, you will learn, you will grow, and you will keep moving forward. You see, fear is a feeling, and feelings are temporary. They come and go. Sometimes they are loud, sometimes they are quiet, but they always pass. Faith, on the other hand, is a choice. It's a choice to believe in yourself even when the world doesn't seem to believe in you. It's a choice to keep going even when things get tough, even when it seems like all the odds are stacked against you. It's a choice to trust in the journey even when the destination is unclear. So many people get stuck in the trap of fear. They get stuck in the what ifs. And they let those fears control their lives. What if it doesn't work out? What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? But they never ask themselves the real question, what if it does work out? What if I succeed? What if this is the opportunity I've been waiting for? If you never take that leap, if you never act on faith, you'll never know what could have been. You'll never know what's on the other side of fear. You'll never know the success, the growth, the transformation that's waiting for you if you choose to step out in faith instead of being held back by fear. You don't have to wait for fear to disappear. It won't. You don't have to wait for things to feel perfect. They never will. But you do have to make a choice. You have to choose to step out anyway. You have to choose faith over fear. You have to choose to believe in yourself and trust that no matter what happens, you will be okay. You will rise, you will overcome, and you will succeed, because when you choose faith, you choose to trust that no matter how difficult things may seem, you are strong enough to handle it. You are capable of achieving your dreams, and no fear can take that away from you.